Holy cow. How you guys doing? It's Wyatt, a writer at Hoops Talk, again for another video today. And today we're going to be talking about what happened last night. So if y'all are living under a rock, OKC, Indiana had their first game in the NBA Finals, and Indiana won on a game-winning shot from no one other than Tyrese Haliburton. I'm not gonna lie, I missed the fourth quarter of this game. I thought it was over, so I went and drove home from where I was, and I deeply regretted it. So I went back, I watched the fourth quarter, so I could come here and talk to you guys about this. This is crazy. Now, even rewatching this, even though I didn't watch that fourth quarter, but even rewatching like that whole game, I still have adrenaline. And I already know what happened. I know what was coming, but the adrenaline is crazy. So we should talk about this first half for a little bit. OKC is not screwed by any means. I mean, they looked good in that first half. They looked dominant. I mean, defensively, they were tough. Refs weren't calling fouls. So it looks like they're going to let them play. And OKC's physicality is a lot different from Indiana's physicality. And the difference is OKC is going to be physical with you from half court, opposed to Indiana, who likes to play guys straight up. And if they're being physical, it most likely is a foul unless it's in the paint. They do swipe a lot. Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith specifically like to use that push, their hands, and that's a foul. Opposed to like, let's say Casey Wallace, who started over Hartenstein. He's just really physical. Like, he uses his body, he's pushing, but he's not like aggressively fouling. He's fouling. They're not calling it. It's the NBA Finals, right? So you got that difference there, and so that's what led to like Caruso with a lot of steals, Shea with a lot of steals. Well, Shea didn't have that many, but like Caruso, Wallace, Dort even had a couple. That's what leads to those things, is their physicality, opposed to how Indiana doesn't pick them up at half court. They wait for their drive, their attack, and then that's where everybody collapse. Most of the time, everybody collapse, and they'll kick out, or Shea's gonna score because it's Shea. So, but we go to that second half, right? And the third quarter is just like, honestly, an even more better version of OKC from that first half. Like, they're still not maybe stealing the ball as aggressively on defense, but they're just hitting their shots. Like Indiana would make a shot, like Obi Toppin or someone would hit a three, and that's just at the time where I remember it was Obi, and they would just come down and hit a three. Like, they would consistently be up 10 to 15 that entire time. The beginning of the fourth quarter, they took over again, and it looked like it was over, so I left. And that was the stupidest thing I could have done, because Indiana has came back from I don't know how many deficits in the fourth quarter this playoffs. And Indiana's leading scorer is Pascal Siakam, who only had 19 points, opposed to Shea, who had 38? I mean, there is a lot of things that go into this, and Tyrese obviously being one of the best, like one of the most clutch player in the league right now, and it's not even close. And honestly, he might be up there for all time, dude. He's hit a game winner in every series he's been a part of this year. And he's went all the way to the finals. He hit the one where his foot was on the line against New York. He hit the step back on Cleveland over Ty Jerome, where he got fined for the celebration. He hit a layup on Giannis to close the series. And then he hit that one last night. I think I'm forgetting one. Maybe did he have another? Oh, he had the choke one on New York. That's right. So it's just like, how do you hit 5 game winners and not be one of the clutchest players of all time in one year? You hit 5 game winners 1 year in a postseason. In a postseason, that means he's hit 5 game winners in about a month and a half. That's insane. That's crazy. To even get that many playoff games that close is tough. And to hit every single one of those shots is crazy. He has not missed a shot in the postseason under a minute. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's greatness. He's a superstar. And I don't know why we haven't thought he hasn't been one. We have thought he was good, but like obviously he wasn't even an all-star this year. Indiana, we don't look at as one of those teams that it's like a Cleveland or a Boston, or because they got off to a rough start at the beginning of the year. But why? Why don't we look at this team like they're great? Because they're led by Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam? Yeah, newsflash, those two are probably just as good as any other top 20 player in the league. So like any top 20 player in the league can lead some team to the championship. They have two. Why didn't we think they were contenders? Like, what really makes us not think? Because it's Indiana? Because the Pacers don't ever win? They went to the conference finals last year. So what about them don't we see? I mean, really. For OKC though, OKC's not screwed by any means though. The Thunder, I mean, let's be honest, they still have the MVP of the league. Like you can never be counted out once you have the best player in the league. I'm not saying he's the best player in the league, but he won MVP. So, but there is positives for Thunder. First off, they only lost by 1. Secondly, they led the entire game at the end of the game. And the Thunder have been good all year about closing games. It's just, and that's what Indiana's known for. So, Indiana's not going to come back every single time they're down 20. And they can prove me wrong. But if they were down 20 for the next 4 games with 7 minutes left to go, I give them 2 of them. And that's even crazy to say because that's a crazy comeback. But that's just how they are. Like, I mean, I don't know. OKC looked pretty dang good in that first. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, Jalen Williams, he looked maybe not as aggressive as I'd like him to, but if he was more aggressive, he would look better. Chet, more aggressive, he would look even better. Shea looked good. Like, they had offensive guys who looked good. They hit shots. Their role players hit shots. Isaiah Joe hit a 3 who hasn't played in a couple games. They even had AJ Mitchell out there, who hasn't really got rotational minutes in the playoffs. They're seeing who can play and who can't. AJ Mitchell didn't really do much when he was out there. Isaiah Joe did kind of he was being a little aggressive. I like that about him. Aaron Wiggins was even had a tough play up there. I was pretty impressed by, but he's been playing in this whole playoff. Hartenstein's minutes seem to go down, but that might change. I mean, Thomas Bryant's been playing good. He does tend to foul. He gets kind of aggressive defensively, but that was honestly the Pacers' identity. As I think they wanted to be aggressive defensively to push it back at OKC, but they weren't doing the right thing. They would foul. Like Thomas Bryant going up to the screener and going like that, that's a foul. Or like straight up pushing the guy is a foul. Opposed to like there's a different kind of physicality. I think that will change game 2. Game 2, you will see a different kind of defensive Indiana Pacers. I mean, you will, and they still won the game. That's the exciting thing about Indiana is they looked bad for the first 35 minutes, and they won this game. How do you do that? But this OKC's good, so I think they're still the favorites to win the series. But you can't count Indiana out. Like, it'll have to at least be 6 games. I would be shocked if this isn't a 7-game series. And like I said last video, I'm an Indiana native, so obviously I'm cheering for the Pacers. But at what point do you have to come down to reality and be like, well, even though Indiana won, OKC still looked like the better team. Just because they dominated for the first 35 minutes. So, I just want to get on here and talk about the finals for a little bit. I liked the minutes that Obi Toppin gave the Indiana Pacers. He did come out and struggle a little bit, but he did hit a couple big threes, and that's what he liked. I don't necessarily see where Nembhard really fits in offensively for the Indiana Pacers. It seems that like he wants to be aggressive, but he doesn't want to shoot the ball right now. Like, I mean, that's the impression I got last game is, like, against New York, he had some looks that he forced, and against OKC, he didn't force them, which is a good thing. But I feel like the only time Nembhard scores is if he hits those tough shots. So we'll see where that goes. As far as OKC, I mean, they just gotta close the game, dude. That's all they did with their job for most of the game. They just need to finish it. They really do. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you later. See you next time.